Good afternoon. Please note that the board met this morning in executive session to discuss various privileged matters. As we have several trustees joining telephonically for audio clarity for our public who may not be using video stream, please mute your connection when you're not speaking. I'll now call the meeting to order and ask Jeannie to please take the roll call. Jeannie?
Barron.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Capretto.
Here.
Casey.
Here.
Cotner.
Present via telephone.
Dambly.
Here.
Dandria.
Here.
Detweiler.
Here.
Duran.
Here.
Dunn.
Here via phone.
Fenza.
Here.
Goldstein. Here. Hahn.
Here via phone.
Harpster.
Here.
Hartzler.
Here via phone.
Hoffman.
Here.
Huber. Jubileer.
Here.
Kleppinger.
Here by phone.
Lord. Lubert.
Here.
Lebrano. Mosser.
Here.
McCumbee.
Here.
Mead.
Here.
Metaxas.
Here.
Oldsey.
Here.
Pope.
Present on the phone.
Potts.
Here.
Rakowicz.
Here.
Redding. Rivera. Salvino. Schneider. Schuyler.
Here.
Tribeck.
Here.
Weinstein.
Here.
Wolf. Shipley.
Thank you, Jeannie. It was with heavy heart that in February I opened our public board meeting noting the tragic death of Tim Piazza. Since then, as we continue to mourn his death and the context surrounding his passing, our thoughts remain with Tim's family and friends on their tragic loss. And as we continue to struggle with the circumstances of his death and the loss that his loved ones are experiencing, we are also committed to exploring meaningful opportunities and options to promote the safety and well-being of our students. The current Greek life structure at Penn State is not sustainable and cannot continue in its current form. As a board, we must ensure that we are providing the support for and the engagement with our administration and the university community so that we can all move forward with a heightened awareness of and commitment to the safety and security of our students. We have done much, but there is much, much more to do. Toward that end, the university has been exploring a number of options. And this morning, the board had a chance to engage with the president and others on how best to proceed to strive toward increased safety and well-being for our students while preserving those elements of Greek life that are beneficial and productive. I now would like to ask President Barron to make some remarks.
Thank you. I too want to begin by restating my deepest sympathies to the Piazza family following the tragic loss of their son. I can imagine no greater heartbreak for a parent. There are simply no words to adequately express the sorrow we have all felt as the investigation into that night unfolded. As president of Penn State, I am resolved to turn the pain and anguish that is radiating through our community into decisive action and reform. There is no greater focus than ensuring the safety of our students. Across this nation, Greek life has operated through self-governance. For years, we've made changes in an attempt to save the good. Characteristics such as leadership and teamwork and brotherhood and sisterhood, and mitigate the behavior associated with excessive drinking, hazing, and sexual assault. Today, we believe the self-governance model is broken. With the safety of our students as our number one priority, we are proposing that Penn State take control of Greek life by taking control of monitoring and adjudication, by delaying rush and pledging, having zero tolerance for hazing and excessive drinking, and by placing strict restrictions on social events. In addition, we will be working with our legislature to strengthen the penalties for hazing. These new safety and reform initiatives represent a significant departure from the Greek system's broken self-governance model. Now I would like to review a full set of initiatives and ask for the Board of Trustees to endorse the proposed changes. Our aim is to curb destructive outcomes within the Penn State fraternity and sorority community, with the hope that we can preserve what is good and valuable about the Greek experience and sense of community that these organizations provide. Our goals, of which absolutely the highest priority is to protect the safety of our students, and in addition, to curb the destructive outcomes increasingly associated in this nation with Greek life, and reduce the risk that are associated with that destructive behavior. And our hope is that while doing that, we can preserve what is good and valuable about the Greek student experience and sense of community that these organizations provide. We're proposing a set of far-reaching, comprehensive reforms. Central to this is university control of the Greek misconduct process. Essentially, we are removing IFC and Pan-Hellenic controls on evaluation and adjudication of misbehavior. Those, yep.
You have to roll them down.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
So we are transferring this responsibility for disciplinary matters to the university away from the IFC and the Pan-Hellenic community. We're proposing to transition to deferred rush and recruitment. The idea here is to enable the development of diverse peer groups as students come onto our campus, thereby decreasing peer pressure to accept hazing, to make sure that we have improved academic standing because there's lower academic performance among those who join as freshmen, and to achieve the objective of having juniors and seniors living in the houses. The next element is zero tolerance for hazing. Any hazing that involves alcohol, physical abuse, or puts a student's mental or physical health at risk will result in swift and permanent revocation of the university's recognition. Next are restrictions on social functions. As in our announcement on March 30th, we will have a decreased number of socials. There must be trained bartenders. The size of the events will be controlled. There will be beer and wine only. And the objective here is to reduce the magnitude and frequency of these events and the potential for excessive drinking. Next, we propose monitoring and Greek community relations staff. This is having the university employees take on the responsibilities for monitoring and assessing Greek organization with the capability with those 8 to 10 additional individuals of much more frequent spot checks to occur. Essentially, this takes away the responsibility for this monitoring from the Greek organizations and places it as a responsibility of the university. We will, in this process, we propose to support congressional proposals that expand Clery Act reporting to include hazing violations and also to change the penalties for hazing. The penalties for hazing are slight, and we need it to be much stronger if we're going to control this type of behavior. Okay. Next is a relationship statement. You can think of this as a social and behavioral contract with the university, and we will insist that the students that are participating in Greek life will sign this statement that basically clarifies the rules and clarifies the expectations, and they will accept this by signing it. And this will provide much greater clarity as to those expectations and perhaps a much different adjudication process when you've put your name and signed something on what you will be doing. Next is a report card. This report card has been in process for a period of time. We want to provide the transparency of metrics that describe strengths and weaknesses of the houses. Everything from grade points by age group, number of citations, service hours, and any trend that would allow us to intervene because we would be able to sense that a fraternity or sorority was in decline in terms of their behavior, but also to reward those who show positive trends. Next is mandatory educational program, pre and post rush. This is explicit training on expectations and negative outcomes. And I put there in parentheses the potential that we will consider having anyone joining a Greek organization to read the presentment that was associated with Tim Piazza's death. This is an enhanced focus on bystander prevention, a program that we have started in this university and many students are joining, but you can also imagine many, many other outcomes like phone apps for anonymous reporting, even though we already have anonymous reporting, anything we can do to make it easier. Additional reforms include control of sorority size, with the view that as organizations become larger and larger, they're more difficult for us to monitor and for their own behavior to be maintained. We want to spend significant effort focused on parent education, availability of the report card, understanding the risks and rewards of Greek life, messages that we need them to reinforce with their students, specifically on alcohol, hazing, and sexual assault. There is a capitation fee that we're proposing to explore. That's an assessment per head for the high cost of extra police services, spot checkers, monitors, and additional educational activities. That capitation fee is not a general student capitation fee. That's a capitation fee based on membership in Greek organizations. We intend to take a national leadership role in this. And as a matter of fact, I will introduce to the Big Ten on this weekend that we organize a national conference on Greek life. Presidents across this nation, big universities, small universities, private universities, and public universities are all facing these problems and finding it a challenge to deal with them. And I think by working together and sharing what we know, that we have the potential to do even more in comprehensive reform to solve this as a problem. We have two proposals that are up here, Campus Community Partnership on Dangerous Drinking and NEAT, a Neighborhood Enforcement Alcohol Team, which is an objective to work more closely with our neighborhoods in order to make sure that we both understanding what is happening in training each other and training everyone involved into solving these problems and to promote better enforcement. We would also like to see a greater focus on community service so that we can replace socials that are related to drinking with socials that are related to serving society. And we already have several houses that have this as a focus. The first 5 of those actions that are described in terms of the university control of the Greek misconduct process, the transition to deferred recruitment and rush, zero tolerance for hazing, social function restrictions, and enhanced monitoring and Greek community relations staff, where the university assumes this role, where the university on the front end is assuming the role for investigation and adjudication, and we're also assuming the role for monitoring. These are the essential elements of moving from a self-governance model to having substantially greater control by the university in order to promote and protect our students. We believe that these actions will achieve our highest priority of protecting the safety of our students while preserving the best of Penn State's Greek life. We anticipate that we will add to this list. We anticipate that in the process of implementing many of these changes, that we will discover that there are areas and places where we may modify those. But, Mr. Chairman, I seek the endorsement of the Board of Trustees to move forward with this new model of governance of the Greek system.
Thank you, Dr. Barron. Everybody should have a resolution in front of them, and if not, can we put the resolution also up on the screen, please? Please take a minute to read the resolution. May I have a motion for approval of the resolution?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. While today's board meeting and endorsement of actions moving forward will hopefully lead to meaningful changes, I would like to end this meeting as I started our meeting in February and ask for a moment of silence in Tim Piazza's memory. Thank you. And I would ask that you all continue to keep Tim in your thoughts. If there's no other business that comes before this board at this time, I'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.